sky, surfing the cloud sign, searching for answers to the question in my
I'm
mind.
cloud surfing, trying to get closer to heaven, cause I'm starting to think that maybe God don't hear us down here. Been trying my best to live right so I can catch some blessings, but we really need some lifting of these spirits around here. So I'm speaking the gospel, and I hope these sermons get your gears to turning, so you won't take them bumpy roads it took me years to learn.
Alright, y'all, you are tuned in. Another episode of Make That Radio Show. That was 38 Hot with Graduation. And for anybody out there who is coming to the Radio for a Top Party this Saturday, 115, what is that, Smokey Glover? So, well, y'all know, Central City Park. It's the YouTube, what is it? The You Create Making 2 building. So we are bringing our awareness. The Teen Domestic Violence Awareness Month is February. But everybody out there, you can also, if you want to talk to Jeremy while we're doing this interview, you can just hit that number 1. We'll let you talk to him. But Jeremy, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's no problem, man.
D-Stone, shout out to D-Stone. D-Stone.
Big shout out to the big D-Stone
for putting this together, linking us up. D-Stone's a good man. Was telling me that you're doing your thing in photography right now. So Jeremy, give us a little background as far as what got you into photography and why do you want to pursue it? One, because there's a lot of people jumping into photography, obviously.
Yeah.
But then you also got to compete with all the different things that are out there right now, like the iPhones, and the consumers not really understanding that photography is an art in itself as well.
Yeah. Well, I would say what really got me into photography would be my dad, actually, because about maybe, I would say 2 years ago, he told me that he had a camera that, if I wanted to ever use it, I could.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, he gave me the opportunity to use it. I took advantage of it. I went downtown with my cousin and a friend of mine, and we were just snapping pictures for about, I would say, I don't know, like 3-4 hours, just downtown, just having fun.
Yeah.
So I really saw what I was doing. I was just like, okay, I can do a little something with this camera. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually, start jumping into photography and really do it. So I created my photography page that same night, posted every single picture that we took.
Mm-hmm.
Invited all of my friends to like it. Ended up getting about, I think, 230 likes that same night.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So, people were really supportive of it first starting out.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say after that, it was really just, the rest was just history, honestly. I just started, doing prom shoots starting out because it was around that time. And then from then on out, I just took advantage of, any time that I could to shoot. And people started hitting me up. They were like, okay, he's kind of good with it. So, people saw that I was charging like low prices. I think I was starting out at, $35, for a shoot. And I was giving 15 pictures, 15 or 20 edits. So then, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a real low price there. But I get it though. That's a strategy.
Yeah,
it's called market penetration. And with that particular strategy, you start at a low ball price, and then as you get better and better, you start raising your prices.
Right.
And that's how a lot of people enter markets or businesses as well, companies.
That is true. So after I started doing that, I would say maybe the next year, let me think. I actually tried to sell my camera to upgrade to another one. That actually ended up getting stolen from somebody on eBay that got scammed out of it. Yeah, it was a crazy situation. So it kind of knocked me back a little bit, but I didn't let it stop me. So I was on the search for another camera, and I ended up finding my first little entry-level Nikon I was using, and the quality of that one, it was way better than what I was using. So I was just like, okay, you know what? I love this camera. This is really good. I'm really doing a lot better than what I was doing before. So I was like, okay, you know what? This really, it gave me my confidence back, basically. Yeah. So then I would say maybe after a year, no, not a year, say maybe like 6 months actually. Yeah, 6 months actually. I actually ended up investing into my first lens and bought an 85mm 1.8 for about, I would say $350, I believe. Yeah, about $350. So then saw that, buying more lenses, that was really doing a lot for me. I was just like, okay, so I see why I need to invest more into this. And then I ended up buying a 50mm. And then after that, I was just like, okay, you know what? I definitely need to really pursue this because I see I'm really getting good at it.
Yeah.
So then I stopped using natural light because that's what I started out with. I didn't start using off-camera flash until September of 2019.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so I would say I was doing natural light for about, I don't know, like not 2 years, about a year and a half actually, something.
So did that make it difficult then for the actual shoots, as far as like, you know, the concept that you want to go for? Because, you know, with the natural light, you know, one, it's got to be daylight outside.
Yeah.
So that takes away all the nighttime shoots.
Yeah.
And with the seasons changing, you know, like in the wintertime, you only get like 8 good hours or whatever. If you got something else that you're doing in between there, you know, and it narrows down that window of opportunity to capture, you know what I'm saying, that best moment.
True. Yeah, shooting with natural light, I'm gonna say it was hard, but it wasn't hard, because one thing about it, I've always had an eye for photography, even when I was starting out, even using a little iPhone. So I would say, as far as the difficulty of it, it was difficult for certain situations. Like if I was in low light, obviously, you know, let's say if I've got my background, it's blown out, I can't, you know, evenly light my subject. I have to, you know, turn them around and then have the sun or whatever source of light I have actually on them so I can get, you know, a good shot. So it's like it made it hard for that, but it also was easy for me because I understood how to use the light that was available to me. So then after that, I was just like, okay, you know what, let me start using off-camera flash, because I saw that, you know, using that, it really took my quality to a whole nother level.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I always, go ahead.
No, I want you to finish. Was you finishing your thought?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I want to make sure you get that out there.
Oh yeah.
So with you jumping into this, you know, being a natural talent, and then like I like what I'm hearing. You start something, you invest, and then it motivates you to do even more, to bring even better quality. You know, a lot of people, they get, you know, complacent and things of that nature, but that to me sounds like you're growing your craft, growing your business. As far as doing this and pursuing it like you are, what was the feedback from, like, you know, the family member and the friends, knowing that, you know, this is what you're pursuing as your full-time employment?
Well, I would say, let me see. My parents, at first, they were like, nah, you don't need to try to do, you know, photography full-time, which I do want to pursue that, but I'm just going to let that come when it comes, because at the end of the day, I'm just trusting the process.
Yeah.
But at first, they weren't too supportive of me doing it full-time, but they were always supportive of me doing photography. Okay. But now that they, you know, seen, you know, how serious I am about it and how good I've gotten at it, they're just like, okay, you know what, this could actually be, you know, something that you could do full-time one day. My friends, I've always had support from them, because all of my closest friends, they're like my brothers. I've known these guys for at least no later than, I would say, maybe like 6 years. Okay,
so y'all got a good camaraderie and
basically,
you know each other, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely like a brother.
Yeah,
I've known these guys
experiences with one another as well.
Yeah, I've known these guys since like middle and high school and like early high school, and we all support each other's grinds. So the support has always been good with them. As far as other people, it's like it's been a hit or a miss. But that's no big deal, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I do. So.
Exactly. Okay, so what have you learned then? I guess from I want you to talk about more the art or the science from photography that you didn't necessarily know jumping into the industry.
Man,
like what is something that like just stood out there to where, okay, I get why, you know, this industry or these photographers, maybe it was why they use a certain type of lens, or, you know, why they use a certain amount of lighting or positioning or whatever the case may be.
Well, I would say the main thing that stood out to me the most is what's called high-speed sync, where basically when you're shooting in manual mode, I'm trying to think how to explain it. When you're shooting in manual mode, there's a certain shutter speed that your camera will basically kind of like cut off the image as far as the light goes, because the curtain of the camera just it does something weird. I can't really explain, but it'll put like a black bar at either the top or the bottom of the shot. Okay. And when you have your shutter speed, like I think it's higher than maybe about 1/250th of a second, that's when it starts to kind of go out of whack. So I had actually buy a flash and trigger that was actually high speed sync compatible. So then I could actually have my shutter speed higher than what I want. So then I can correctly expose my background and then light my subject with whatever power flash that I need, so then I can get that perfect image. Like, for example, if I'm shooting, actually, as a matter of fact, a good example I can use is when I went to Louisville, Kentucky to go see my girlfriend, actually. We were shooting on the Big Ford Bridge above the Ohio River at Golden Hour. And I wanted to capture the sunset, so I was like, you know what, let me actually try this high-speed sync out for the first time. So what I did was, I had her turn her back to the sun, so she was backlit. No light on her whatsoever, she was just completely dark. I took that shutter speed up to where I could actually see, you know, the beautiful orange sunset, and then I put that flash power on maybe about, I'll say like 1/4, and then after that, when I actually got that shot, it was perfect, so that I could still see that sunset, but have my subject lit up how I wanted it to be.
Yeah, so you can see both. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love high speed sync. That's my favorite thing to use.
So what kind of shoots have you been doing here recently within the last 6 months or so?
Let me see. I've done what's it, a mother with her baby during fall. I shot my first wedding October the 19th. Did an engagement shoot last month. What else? It's been so many. I've done a few photo shoots with my friend Juwan that's actually doing modeling. Let me see what else. But my favorite one, it was with a friend of mine that I actually met through Juwan named Gregory Christian. He's like really into the culture for real. So he wanted to do something where it was basically like a roots type photo shoot. So it really had like, like the Black Power vibes and everything. And like we were shooting in the woods, and he had a t-shirt tied around his head. Like it was really like a cultural type shoot. That was my favorite one, hands down.
That's dope. So I guess you feed off the energy and the creativity of the subject as well.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I let anybody come to me with whatever they want to do, and I let them, give me that vision, and then I capture that, and I do my absolute best to make it happen, basically.
Okay. Have you had to like orchestrate or conceptualize a concept for someone because they just like, well, I just want you to shoot, and don't really bring you like a whole lot of ideas or anything?
Not really. It's like I more so just kind of just go with the flow of how, the subject, well, not the subject, how the client actually wants, the shoot to turn out. Because a lot of times, I don't really get, people that really bring me ideas and a vision and everything. It's just that one time that I had that, I usually just get a bunch of general shoots where people are just like, okay, I just want pictures done. And then, I give them my ideas as far as how I want the shot to turn out. And then they end up loving it at the end, so.
So they trust your process?
Basically.
Did it take long for people to really be able to do that, or was it due to they saw the work that you would post on social media? They trusted,
It was more so with them seeing the work that I was posting, because it's like when they saw what I was doing, they was just like, okay, let me think how to put it. I really don't know how to put it, honestly. Let me think. I would say, as far as with them, dang, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I don't really know how to.
I guess they probably see you work online, and then that sparks them and inspires them to go for something that's similar, or to try to it gives them context of how they can conceptualize something that they're doing.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess what is something that you've had to overcome besides, like you said, the camera being stolen, from like the business perspective of photography, or something that you really learned that you didn't necessarily know that it could be a hindrance?
I would say just learning lighting overall as far as doing off-camera flash, because that was a whole different ball game for me, because I had never done it up until September of last year, like I said. So that would be probably my biggest hindrance. But at the end of the day, I was all into it. I was on YouTube like 40 hours a week just watching videos strictly on lighting so I could learn it. So then when it actually came time for me to buy off-camera gear, went outside with my sister at home, and then I was like, just come outside with me real quick, let me practice and do some practice shots on you with this off-camera flash. So then I put, what I learned on YouTube, and I applied that, and I actually ended up getting good results. And I was like, okay, so this really, it gave me my confidence in doing that. So then I could just go ahead and take it under my next shoot with the confidence that I got from that, and then just go ahead and make it happen, and it ended up being perfect.
That's what I'm talking about. So I like your approach to stuff. You go and he's talking about you doing 40 hours of research in a week. just about a lighting. I know they can, to other people that may seem boring or whatever, but that's you honing your craft.
Exactly.
I want to talk a little bit more about when you take photos of people, right? It's more than just snapping and capturing the best image possible at the time, but you also have the editing process. What would be something that average consumers wouldn't think? One, why would you want to edit the photos? But then two, the actual editing process. Like, what are you doing? Like, I have to go into specifics of give a generality of why it would take 2 hours to edit a photo or 20 minutes to edit a photo, whatever the case may be.
I would say probably retouching. That's probably the longest process.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I basically try to make it as easy on myself as far as the editing goes.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I go ahead, I take the picture, I
Mm-hmm.
throw it in Adobe Lightroom,
Mm-hmm.
then I throw a preset on there that matches the vibe of how I want the picture to look,
Mm-hmm.
then I fine tune it, and then I use a software called Luminar 4 where basically it's I would say it's like Photoshop,
Mm-hmm.
but it's way easier. It's let's say if you got somebody with skin that doesn't look as smooth as they want it to look,
Mm-hmm.
you literally can just click a slider and then just take it up, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes it, it does it,
Yeah.
automatically rather than you
Mm-hmm.
having to do dodging and burning in Photoshop and different things like that and taking a super long time to do it. Because I'm always
Mm-hmm.
about the ease of the process for me and just making it easier on myself basically. Because I like to work fast, so
Yeah.
that's
I hear you like to go ahead and complete the project at hand.
exactly.
That way you can move on to the next one, and then give the people the results and back in a quicker manner than what they probably even anticipated.
Right.
So have you had locations that seem to really stand out here in Macon or Middle Georgia area that you like? And where are some spots that you think you might end up shooting in the future?
There's one particular spot that it seems like everybody, they always love it. I don't know if you know about it. It's It's an abandoned building over off of Bay Street, right outside of downtown.
Okay.
It's got 3 floors. There's graffiti everywhere inside of it. And the top floor, it's got super high ceilings. It's got pillars with graffiti on it. It's a really dope spot. So that's been the spot that I've shot at the most, honestly. Honestly, it's I almost get tired of shooting there because people like to go there so much. But at the end of the day, the vibe of the place is you just can't get tired of it.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite spot to shoot at. But as far as spots in Macon that I feel like I would shoot in the future, not really 100% sure about that just yet because I've still been trying to spot and scout other locations around here because I'm just trying to see, what all I can use rather than just using, parks, downtown Macon, that building or whatever. So.
What is the most creative angle you've had to do as far, because I know some photographers who really get into it. I've done my very first photo shoot when I was recording as an active recording artist, and I was putting music out, and this was over 10 years ago, was with Michael Martin. And first of all, it was hilarious. The dude's full of energy. I love his whole approach and his mentality. But while I was there, I'm he's all on the floor doing all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Looking for good angles and stuff. So what has been your most creative angle thus far?
Oh man, I know exactly which one. It was perfect. So I was doing a birthday shoot for a girl for her 18th birthday at a spot that a friend of mine showed me right downtown. And it's what they wanted to do was they had her, let's say, okay, the girl whose birthday was, she was right here. Then her friends, they were around her in an arc, blowing a kiss at her. So in my head, I was like, okay, how am I gonna get this? Because there was no way for me to be able to do that. I didn't have anything to stand on. So I was looking around and I found an old trash can. So I was like, you know what, let me use that. So I tipped it over and then I stood on top of that and I had the girl's mama actually hold it while I was standing on top of it so I could be while they're down here, I'm way up here shooting down so I can capture everybody in the shot the way I wanted to. It came out perfect. So
you improvising with limited resources, that's dope. Because I can imagine as you get bigger and bigger, you have a little bit more at your disposal, and then even if you're doing something within the studio, whatever, be able to have different things that you can utilize to where you can get the type of shots that you can see in your head.
Right.
How is the reception as far as like, you know, when you like started escalating your prices and letting people know that, you know, were they receptive to that? Some fall off and other ones joined, and you know, does the Middle Georgia area support you in your mind like you feel this shit?
It's been good and bad because there are people that I run into that actually understand that, you know, the type of quality that I'm giving now is gonna cost good money. But then there's been other people that have told me, oh, my prices are too high. Like last year, in the beginning of last year, somebody I went to high school with, he asked me what I charged for a shoot. This is when I was charging $75 for 20 photos. He was like, 75 for 20 pictures, that's too high. I'm like, do you not understand what I'm putting into this though? So with that, I've had, you know, people tell me I'm too high. Like I said, some people, they're just like, oh yeah, that's perfect. Like, for example, I have a wedding coming up July the 18th. The woman, she said that she wanted me to be there from 2 to 10. She asked me how much would that be, and I told her, you know, that'll be $950. She was like, okay, well, all right, I'll book you as soon as I can. So I have people that, you know, definitely, they understand, some that don't understand, but at the end of the day, the ones that don't understand, they're not my clients.
Yeah, so, we definitely talking about that. I harp on that a lot with people and let them know that, you know, as we build our businesses and companies and things of that nature, that, you know, some people will fall off, some people will stay, and then other people will join, you know, as we grow as well.
Right.
And that, you know, we don't have to have everybody, because it's big enough for everyone to do stuff, whatever. And then, I've even been doing it, so I can guesstimate you've been doing it about 3-4 years now.
I would say this is going on year 3 actually. I started March of 2017.
Okay.
Right after my birthday.
Okay. So it's all exciting. Probably for my mine's April 13th, so I'm following the Aries, whatever. So. Okay. Yeah, yours is some format a bit. But I'm sure you've even experienced in the industry more people like really jumping into it. You've probably seen some people jump into it and then exit it within 6 months, and you've seen other people jump into it and stay. How do you feel overall? Because you come off as a person who really respects the art of photography.
Oh yeah, I do.
And the craft.
Yeah, I love it with everything in me. That's my passion.
And I get that from you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've seen others where it feels like they're just in it for, like, you know, coin or money or whatever the case may be. How does that affect you overall when you look at the industry? Do you really care about that, or do you feel that, like, you know, people jump into it, but the industry it'll shake out who they want anyway?
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. It's like the people who are serious, they stick with it. I've seen people that are serious about it, that I've seen grow with me. There are people that I've seen that, you know, have started after me. I'll see them, you know, they'll start out, maybe they, you know, haven't been able to really get into it like I have, just because they haven't been able, you know, to invest, or maybe they're just not showing me that, you know, that they're super serious. Because I tell people all the time, like, I've had people come to me and I tell them, they're like, you know, can you teach me how to shoot? Can you teach me how to become a better photographer? I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely show you, but you gotta show me that you're serious. Because, like I said, I love this with everything in me, and I take it very seriously. And I've learned from people that, you know, are very serious. Like, for example, D. Stowe Moore, and I've talked to other professionals like Jabril Najee and then Daryl Moy, and I see how they're doing. And, you know, seeing that they've made a big name for themselves, that shows me that, you know, I need to do the same. And with me doing that, I want to see other people that come to me do the same. Because at the end of the day, if we're not on the same wave, then it's like, I don't, you know, really want people around me that aren't trying to grow as I'm trying to grow, basically.
Exactly. You know, I just sit there and thought about something too. I think that, because like I talked to D. Stowe, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to Tish's Bell, I think I'm talking to a couple other photographers, and then also Matthew Odom. And all of y'all, you know, love what you do, and I can tell that y'all all love what you do. I think y'all should, like, form some type of conglomerate where, like, you know, y'all meet, like, you know, once a quarter, whatever the case may be, and really discuss the industry and how y'all gonna move it forward, and, you know, what parameters people should be able to meet before they really, like, jump into it. Like, have your own little photography coalition. No, for real.
That would be dope.
It works with music. You know, people join certain coalitions to be able to be in the industry. And, like, y'all are in the industry, but y'all functioning as individuals in the industry, as opposed to, like, y'all can really shape this whole Middle Georgia area. And, you know, of course, you know, people can come on and it can expand as it gets bigger and bigger or whatever, but definitely the ones who are passionate about something should be able to help shape the industry. And then I'm spitballing here, but I'm sitting there thinking this is what I do with when I get information. I'm like, man, y'all can do like classes and workshops and really educate the public on why you should hire professionals to shoot things. One, I believe, like I say this stuff to my wife all the time. My wife likes to save money in certain things. Not that she doesn't respect people, but she's just a natural frugal person, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to certain things, like I'm good at some things, and I'm great at other things, but I'm not the best in every category. So, like accounting, I know how accounting works. I've taken 3 accounting classes. I've done taxes before. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do somebody else's taxes. I don't even do my own taxes. I pay a professional to do that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Done, the best way possible.
Exactly. And I'm willing to do that. I'm not a mechanic. I don't care about cars. They're functional to me. You know what I'm saying? Other people care about cars. You know what I'm saying? To me, they're functional. Yeah. I'm not gonna change my own oil. I'm just not. I know how to put the tire on. I know how to put oil in the car. I know how to do all that stuff. But I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying, just to save a few dollars or whatever. To me, that's inconvenient because I have other stuff that I can work on that makes way more money that's actually gonna pay for somebody else to do that service.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think like education in photography would definitely be a dope thing. And to like even in like basic showing people what you do when you edit a photo. And like I said, I'm just spitballing here, and y'all can run with this as far as you want to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can take this and run with it.
Yeah.
But I think it would actually help the industry as far as the consumers. To sit there, come to a class, low price or whatever, low cost or whatever the situation is, $20, whatever, fill up like, 40 people or whatever, and show them on a PowerPoint, like sit there and live while in class, edit a photo and show them the before and the after, and this is why, you know what I'm saying, this brings value.
Yeah.
I think that would definitely be a dope thing to do. No, that's just my opinion or whatever, but I just be sitting there thinking of stuff. I'm like, you know what? I think it's the lack of education.
Yeah.
That really why some people aren't as turned on to like hiring other professionals. Because I'm like, people just don't go. You don't go to anybody who's say they're a doctor. You know what I'm saying? You go to actual doctors.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? You go to a lawyer to get legal advice and stuff. Why not seek out professionals? People who are passionate about that, because your passion will come across to people anyway.
Exactly.
And they'll see that, you're not just in it for the money. Of course, you want to make your living. Everybody deserves to make their living. But at the same time, you'll be able to do stuff that other people can't do because they have to put in the time to earn those skills.
Exactly.
And, that's what I pay people for. But, that's my own little tangent. I go off on some tangents or whatever. So, list some people that, who are some people that are upcoming or who you see are doing great things to push photography and forward here in the area or abroad if people in other places as well?
Well, I would say most definitely as far as like people that aren't in Middle Georgia, there's 2 particular photographers that I watch them all day long on YouTube. It's Manny Ortiz and Brandon Cole.
Okay.
Those 2 guys, I don't know what it is about their work, but it's just, if you look at it, you're just like, dang, like that's really something special. Like the people they shoot with, the areas they're in, because I think Brandon Cole is in LA, and then Manny Ortiz is in Chicago. So they've got really dope scenery to work with, dope models to work with. So those 2 for sure. And then as far as up and coming, I would say one in particular is my homeboy. What is his name? His name on Facebook is actually T.I. Born. So I really respect what he's doing. I see that he's really trying to push himself deeper into it.
That's Shari. Claiborne? No.
Yep, that's
Claiborne Visuals.
Yeah, Claiborne Visuals. Yeah.
He texted me the other day. The thing I like about Shari is that, like, when I met him, he saw all the stuff I was doing or whatever, and I like the fact that he's hooked up with Ponce. They've been doing their thing too.
Yeah.
So that's great or whatever. But he hit me up like, man, you got something you doing? I'll be there. Just let me know. I was like,
Literally,
well, I love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love the energy.
Yeah.
And I like what he's been doing and just showing up. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see him, he's out and about doing his thing or whatever. And he's always hitting me up and. Like, he hits me up every couple months, but hey, what you got going? You know what I'm saying? You come shoot and stuff like that. So I love that about him.
Yeah, he's got a really good spirit. And that's just like, one day just randomly, I was actually on the way to a photo shoot, and he called me. I was like, I wonder what Tina's calling me for. So, I answered the phone. He was like, hey, bro, I just want to let you know that, what you're doing out there is really dope. And, if you ever need anything, just let me know. And I was just like, dang, that really meant a lot because I'm like, I'm out here building relationships with other people and they're really seeing how passionate I am about it. So we're all willing to, I'm actually running into people that are actually willing to help each other out, basically. So that really means a lot to me, for real. Yeah. So I would say him, and then the two that I mentioned, like I said, Manny Ortiz and Brandon Cole. And then, even though these people have already made a name for themselves, but like there's other people that I look up to, like obviously Disto, for example. He's been my mentor through this whole photography journey. Who else? Keith Hammock. I've seen his wedding work. He's hands down the best wedding photographer I've seen besides Daryl Moy. And Daryl Moy too, he's really good, down to earth guy if you ever had a chance to talk to him. And then, like I said, Jabril Najee, I've talked with him a lot. I actually helped him out with a wedding once, and he's, just been there for me ever since we actually met. So I would definitely say all those people there, they're definitely on and doing their thing for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. So what do you prefer to shoot as far as like, actually the better question, where do you see yourself going next as far as like shooting stuff? Because like when I talk to Disto, he really likes to expand people's horizon with photography. He's like, man, you can shoot people, but you can also shoot food. You can shoot like birds. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that we could that's photogenic that we could capture. So do you see yourself in the near future like branching out into like a whole different industry or that's adjacent within the field of photography?
Yeah, most definitely. It's like at first I was always trying to find myself in what I want to do, and it's like I'm still in the process of doing that because I basically shoot just about anything that anybody brings to me. But if it's like, I don't know, like event photography, I don't really do events like that. That's just not, something that really, I guess like I said, it's not something that really, brings out that passion that I feel when I do other shoots. Because it's like, let's say like if I'm on a photo shoot and I get an amazing shot of somebody, I'm not just gonna stand there and just be like, just looking. I'm like, okay, this is the shot I got. Like people are gonna see that happiness on my face. And they're gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, dang, like how did I do this? Even though I know that I'm good enough for that. But that's that. But as far as branching out, I definitely want to get more into wedding photography. Okay. That's definitely something that I want to jump into. I've already talked with a few people that I know. I actually want to put together a little small wedding team. I actually wanted to teach my girlfriend how to shoot, and then her also actually do makeup because she's a makeup artist. Okay. Then I want to teach my best friend Leah. She said that she wants to learn how to shoot, and then Mark Wingfield that we talked about, he told me he wants me to teach him how to be a better photographer, and he also wants to do the videography and stuff. So I'll put him on my team for that, and then I'm also possibly thinking about adding Tashara too as another team member too.
That's what's up. So you're putting together a whole real good team then.
Yeah, I definitely want to actually really make that happen because that's not necessarily because of that's where the money is in photography for real as far as doing weddings, but it's just something about capturing that special moment.
Exactly, because those are milestones. Yeah, and to be able to capture that and people like really have that because it's one thing for other people to take the pictures on the cell phones and all that, but it's not the same because they're in the party or whatever and they're connected to it. Right. You have to have an outside professional to be able to see those moments and capture those or whatever in a way that you wouldn't be able to do it yourself because you're in the moment. You're soaking up all that. And that's a lot going on. Yeah. I'm like, shoot, I remember at my wedding party was, we had 9 groomsmen and 9 bridesmaids. Oh wow. Yeah. We got buried at the little church in Fort Valley, the Presbyterian church. This is hilarious. And then we had the wedding reception over here. There's a building, Evans building. We just walked over there and did that, whatever. But to be able to go back and look at those pictures and really think about like all those moments. I'm like, wouldn't nobody be able to like really capture those moments like that? Because we're too busy in the whole, wedding thing or whatever. Which now I just got a different opinion about weddings or whatever. It's more about the people than it is the actual two people getting married. It's about everybody else really.
Yeah.
Looking at it, and that's just my own perspective. So people, y'all still run out there and get married if you want to. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we would have done it a little bit differently now. But like you said, though, it's a moment. Just like a graduation, just like a prom. These are moments that once you have them, it's that. Like you can only graduate from high school one time.
Exactly.
You can only get married one time. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of it being, you know what I'm saying, some people, they get divorced and get married again, but to have that one time, that first time experience.
Exactly.
That's what I guess better wording.
Yeah.
That first time experience.
For sure.
There's only certain things in our lives that we can only, have those first time experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. But definitely dope information. I feel like I'm learning a lot. No, for real. I really do. And every time I do that, I learn more from my guests. But for everybody out there who wants to be able to check out your work, be able to follow you on social media, inquire about prices and what all you will do as far as a photographer and the type of concepts or events that you'll do, what's the best way that people reach you?
People can find me on Facebook at Jeremy Coleman, Facebook Jeremy Coleman Photography, and then Instagram at jcp.media. Those are the three easiest ways to actually reach me. So, but mainly, I would say actually my photography page, because sometimes I might get a message and that's in my message request and then miss out on a shoot because I didn't get the notification for that. But if they actually inbox my photography page, then I can respond to it from there and I'll always get the notification. Or if I don't get it, my girlfriend, she's actually in charge of helping me run that page, so she'll get it and then she can respond too.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. So I like Jeremy for all my guests to have the last words. So if there's anything a mantra that you have that you say, or some type of inspirational words that you want to pass on, or anything that you really want to hone in on and let people really take heed to, here's the opportunity to do that.
The main thing I would say is, as a photographer, if you're just now starting out, just don't let up. Always just keep your foot on the gas and just keep shooting, keep practicing, always better yourself, learn as much as you can, because at the end of the day, despite if you feel like you're not getting better, it's happening, you just don't see the growth. Because that's what happened with me. I look back now compared to when I was shooting maybe a year and a half ago, and I was thinking to myself, I wasn't really doing that great. Well, that much better, I would say, now compared to then, but then I look back and I'm like, dang, I've come a long way. So definitely just trust the process. Keep on doing what you do, keep shooting, because at the end of the day, the hard work and the investments is going to pay off, believe it or not.
All right, there y'all have it. Y'all make sure y'all support Jeremy Coleman Photography. Follow him on Facebook, Instagram. If he has on any social media, you see him, hire him, pay him the deposit that he's required. Support all the arts, because photography is an art. Jeremy, I appreciate the time, man, and definitely you're welcome to come back, any other time, and just keep me posted on everything you're doing. Y'all keep tuning in to the Banked Out Radio Show. You can always follow the Instagram page, BankedOut_radio_show. Go follow the Facebook page, Banked Out Radio Show, the YouTube channel as well. Keep tuning in. Anytime we go live, they can always dial in 917-898-8041. I'm your host, Andreas, and we're out.
Cross the right bridges in your life, try not to burn them. Keep your grass cut low so you can see the surface. Just some simple game for you to live by. Got that from my granny when I was just a little guy. Even though we faced obstacles every day, we still try to make it out this hellhole, the Melrose, without having to sell O's. All we need is opportunity, a little unity, without having to worry if my brother man gon' shoot at me. Take the hood back, just imagine what all the youth could be. The new heaven on earth, a picture painted so beautifully. But do you see? If you don't, then follow me to the land.